Welcome to Đồng Nai Radio and Television Station. Here comes to the news today. On December 3rd, during a business trip to Bình Dương, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính surveyed, inspected, and urged to fasten some key transport infrastructure projects in the area. The Prime Minister surveyed and reviewed reports on Ho Chi Minh City Hữu Dung Một Chân Hành Expressway. The project has been assigned by the Prime Minister to the People's Committee of Bình Dương Province as a competent agency to implement the projects. The project has a total length of 69 kilometers from the Gò Dưa Ho Chi Minh City intersection to National Highway 14 Bình Phước Province. The Prime Minister surveyed and reviewed reports on the railway route Bầu Bằng, Thị Vải, Cái Mép, planning the metro line suiting Bình Dương New City, Bầu Bằng, adjusting the planning positions of An Bình Station and the Di An Station. The Prime Minister also surveyed and listened to reports on the Ring Road 3 Ho Chi Minh City section through Bình Dương Province. The projects were approved by the National Assembly on Investment Policy in the Resolution number 57 2022 QH15 dated June 16, 2022. The Prime Minister surveyed and listened to reports on Ho Chi Minh City routes and Bầu Bằng Industrial Park. The Prime Minister also heard a report on the Ring Road 4 Ho Chi Minh City section through Bình Dương Province. According to Đồng Nai Provincial People's Committee, it is estimated that in 2022, Đồng Nai will have 13 targets exceeding the annual plan and 3 targets not being achieved. GRDP per capita exports total investment capita for development of the whole society, total budget revenue, the number of commutes meeting the new race rural standards, number of commutes meeting the new model rural standard, poverty reduction rate. The rest of the other indicators all meet the targets set out by the resolution, particularly the 3 targets that did not meet the plans were rate of industrial parks with stable wastewater installed automatic wastewater monitoring system, percentage of the commute, Warden Township Health Station eligible for medical examination and treatment covered by the health insurance, rate of cultural institutions at district and commune level operating effectively. In 2023, the province aims to increase GRDP by 7.5 to 8.5% compared to the 2022, but capita income at the current prices is from 145 to 150 million VND per person per year. Export turnover increased by 8 to 8.5%, and the social development investment capital was about 116,000 billion VND. On December 3rd, the Coast Guard Corps No. 2 Coast Guard Command organized a military campaign to carry out the coastal police with ethnic and religious people in 2022 in Nhơn Trạch District. The delegation and coordinating units organized the following activities: distributing leaflets, propagating sovereignty over sea and islands, and drug prevention to people in Phu Hữu commune, organizing the contest I Love the Sea, Islands of My Homeland, giving gifts to the poor student, and organized to give 30 gifts each worth 500,000 VND to religious and ethnic minorities in commune. Through the mass mobilization program, coastal police with ethnic and religious people to continue to create a relationship of solidarity and closeness between soldiers and people, contributing to maintaining political security in the local army. The European Commission says that all the governments of the European Union member countries have completed the Brighton approval of price ceiling of 60 per barrel set by the group of the world's leading industrial countries, G7, proposal for oil exports by sea from Russia. From December 5th, the EU will not buy crude oil exports from Russia. The bloc also stopped importing Russian oil products from February 5th. According to the European Commission, the price selling from Russian oil products in the next future using the same mechanisms for crude oil prices. In addition, from the beginning of next week, EU shipping companies will only be allowed to carry Russian crude oil if it's sold at or below the above selling price. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says in the statement, G7 and the EU make decisions that will have a heavier impact on Russian revenue. In a response to the security of the Russian resident, Dmitry Peskov states that Moscow does not accept the selling of oil prices. The European Union (EU) yesterday called for an investigation into Israeli military killing of Palestinian civilians in the occupied West Bank. In a statement on Twitter, the EU says that the Israeli military appear to have to use more lethal force than necessary, citing information about 10 Palestinians being shot dead by the Israeli army in the past 72 hours. The EU says 2022 is the deadliest year since 2006, in which 140 Palestinians were killed by Israeli troops in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Also, according to the EU, under international law, the use of deadly force is strictly restricted to situations where there is an immediate and serious threat. Civilian casualties need to be investigated and held accountable. This is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching. Have a good time. Goodbye.